What's the deal, YouTube? I'm back with another reaction video. Shit, today we got from Crip to NBA star, the story of Demar Derozan. If y'all don't know who this is, man, everybody know who this shit is, bro. Everybody know who this nigga is, bro. Nigga, he's in the NBA. This Demar Derozan. Nigga, he played for the Raptors. Who he played for now? I don't even know. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. Shit, finna get into it though. Shout out to Warren Cali for the video. No cap. Yeah, let's get into it. Hold on. I'm tweaking. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We on the road to 2,000 subs. Now let's get into the video.
Welcome back to another episode of Warren Cali. In this episode, I'm going to detail the story of NBA player Demar Derozan. Demar will be born on August 7, 1989 in Compton, California. Two parents, Frank and Diane Derozan.
From Compton?
Demar's
I did not know that
circumstances
shit.
wouldn't be like most of his peers. He had a good home setting with two working parents who he both had a good relationship with. Demar's mom would name him the blessed one, with him not being expected to make it as a baby and them having a hard time to conceive. And that's the same thing with Compton. Many people wasn't expected to make it out of Compton, especially what was going on at the time.
Nigga, that gas is $1? Hold on. I know y'all see that shit. Hold up.
And that's the same thing with Compton. Many people wasn't expected to
Nigga, gas is $1.12.
make it out of
What
Compton,
the hell?
especially what was going on at the time. It was daily deaths and shootings going all over Compton. It was almost gangs in every area of the city. And for Demar, this would be tough. Demar would lose a lot of family and lose a lot of friends in his life. Before he was even born, he would lose an uncle named Lamar. So he would grow up seeing a lot of constant violence going on around him. Growing up on the east side of Compton, it was known as one of the toughest areas in the city. Demar faced a lot growing up. Demar grew up in the pocket hood Compton Crip's turf, one of Compton gangs that were heavily involved in killings, drug dealing, and all criminal activity. So Demar's daily life, this is what he's seen, and he experienced a lot. And a lot of Demar's family members were already Crips themselves. With that lifestyle around him, Demar seen a ton of people he knew, from family members and friends, died at an early age. At the age of 5, Demar's other uncle Kevin will be shot and killed by the Parus, and this will set up a trend of constant death and attending funerals in Demar's childhood. With his environment, Demar had to become a product of his area. With the streets being so territorial, he had to learn what streets to take, what areas to avoid, and how to protect himself.
Facts.
He became a pocket hood Compton Crip, just off his affiliation to his neighborhood he lived in.
Pocket hood.
Many people will start to call him Debo after a fight with a bully, ending with Demar beating another kid up for trying to punk him.
It all started when I was in 6th grade. I always used to hoop at PE with the 8th graders. I remember I got into it with one of the 8th graders. Big dude. We ended up getting in a fight. And I beat him up. I've never told this story. I swear to God, I never told this story. I beat him up. He was an 8th grader, big dude. Beat him up. And the whole school was just like, oh, he got beat up like he was Debo. Everybody just stuck with it, calling me that after that. You know what I mean? It just, it's crazy. I promise God I never told that story. And it came from me getting in a fight with an 8th grader.
Yeah, that's funny.
He
So
got,
remember that dude?
Yeah. I probably don't, be honest with you.
He remembers for sure. Though.
I'm sure he remembers.
You know
he remembers. But that's where it started from, and everybody since then started calling me, and that stuck with me from middle school to high school. When it started, like, you know, getting to the league, and I was like, because when people call me that, you had to know me from back home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when it started carrying over to the NBA, I was just like, I don't know how it started.
But that name Debo would stick, with Demar being a force and a bully on the basketball court. Demar and his dad were super close, and his dad Frank took him to the park in the area to hoop all the time. Demar would develop a deep love for the game of basketball with him being so good. Demar's hood wouldn't even allow him to participate in any crimes and always had his back if anything happened. Entering high school,
I like that though. His hood, they know he was the breadwinner. They trying to push him. No cap. Hope he gave back.
Wouldn't choose the notorious Dominguez High School
Pretty sure.
that produced several basketball players like Tyson Chandler, Tayshaun Prince, Brandon Jennings, and several more. But instead, he went to a school he felt more comfortable at, where several Crips in his area went to, that being Compton High. In Demar's freshman year at Compton High, he would become a star and average 26 points and 8 rebounds per game.
Damn.
Put him on notice for everybody to know he was up next.
26 points?
He became so popular in the city. One time he was robbed by gunpoint, but several gang members let him go after they realized he was Debo from Compton High, one of the best hoopers.
Oh, that's hard. Hey, That nigga got rank in this city. He ain't even
DeMar
gotta
would
do
become
nothing.
one of the best hoopers in the whole entire nation, being ranked at number 3. This will help him get invited to several camps and help take his game to a whole nother level. He would even develop a relationship with rappers Master P and Romeo. With Romeo being a basketball player himself, they created an AAU team, which DeMar would later join. Being with Romeo was an experience that DeMar couldn't ever imagine, meeting other celebrities,
This
going
nigga
to
was a
parties,
hooper?
and going out to different
I thought this nigga used to do music.
cities. Even appearing in Romeo and Master P's movie, God's Gift.
At the house, chill. Like it was like on some real like we was on some N1 mixtape type shit. Like how we was moving. You know what I mean? Like I'm talking about we getting off the plane. We got the big bus waiting for us. Parents, we staying in 5-star hotels. Everybody on the team got a cell phone. I got my first cell phone with P. I'm talking about everybody getting a Sprint phone, sidekick. Like he took care of us.
Y'all
you know what I mean?
Wrap chips,
Like-
cup of noodles.
We had it all.
I know he had it back then.
He didn't have
Like,
he had a rap stack back then. All
but we going to shit like Nickelodeon Awards.
That's
like we
dope.
going to all this stuff. Like as kids, bro. Like,
Nickelodeon.
like we
That's
doing
balling right
so-
there, though.
Like for me, it was everything
Right.
because it's like I used to look forward to like the weekends because he used to invite everybody over on the team over
That's dope.
just to come hoop in the backyard.
But his last year of high school wouldn't just be all glamour. DeMar's father would suffer a stroke, and his mom would be diagnosed with lupus. Even his childhood friend would be killed at 17.
Damn.
So for a high school kid, DeMar was going through a lot. Instead of attending colleges with elite basketball programs, he instead chose to stay home and attend USC with Romeo, who was also offered a scholarship with Demar Derozan. DeMar would decide to go to USC to stay close to his family. At USC, DeMar would become a dominant force, leading the team and looking elite among many players. In his 1 year at USC, DeMar would get high praise, and many people would compare him to NBA player Vince Carter. DeMar would enter the 2009 NBA draft after his 1 season at USC, stating he needed to take care of his family, and just so happened, he would be drafted by the same team who drafted Vince Carter, the Toronto Raptors. DeMar was selected with the 9th pick. DeMar would take a few years to develop and later became a star on the Raptors, and with the help
Facts.
of point guard Kyle Lowry,
That
they
nigga a
would become
dog,
a
I
deadly
ain't
duo
gonna lie.
in the Eastern Conference. While in Toronto, DeMar would make 4 All-Star teams and even 5
Shit.
playoff appearances,
Shit.
giving the city of Toronto and the Raptors everything he had, but also being known for throwing up the sea for Crip many times throughout his career. But that wouldn't be enough for them, and they would trade him to the Spurs.
Oh, he on the
Mentally,
Spurs?
that would hurt DeMar, but he gave in Toronto everything he had and being traded. But also, his dad was getting sicker by the day. He was facing his own battles in life and a lot of trauma. And the sickness of his father, DeMar was entering depression. And to see Kawhi, the man he was traded for, win a championship the first season with the Raptors, after DeMar tried so many years, this would deeply hurt him. DeMar would play 3 seasons with the Spurs and take them to the playoffs once. But in his last season, DeMar's dad would die. DeMar would
Damn.
write an emotional post on Instagram to his father, letting him know how much he appreciated him. The next season, DeMar would play for the Chicago Bulls, and he would have his best individual season ever, averaging 28 points a game, the highest he ever had. He seemed to find his motivation again, and playing for his dad was the biggest factor.
Posted
bro,
on
you
Twitter.
gotta do it for your
The Kevin
pops,
Gates
bro.
line, "Your depression has the best of me." Did you realize it was going to resonate with so many people?
No, I really didn't. To be honest with you, it was a actual feeling that I was feeling in that moment, and how I felt. Like, and the only way in that moment I could express it was,
DeMar,
relating
hey, bro.
with-
He a prime example, bro. That nigga struggle, bro. That don't mean shit. You could what's the word? Adverse through the struggle. I think that's the word, or I don't know. You could what's the name through the struggle? You could make it through the struggle, bro. Nigga, he from Compton, nigga. He from Pocket, whatever hood. Shit, nigga, you could make it, bro. This is a prime example of somebody that made it, bro. He from nothing, no cap.
a song and the lyrics, and I tweeted it. I woke up the next day, feeling good until I looked at my phone and realizing, what have I just started, and it kind of was a blessing in disguise, me doing it, because it opened me up and helped me realize so much for myself and so much empathy for the outside world of people just going through so much. And with that, it just put me in a position of understanding how to help not just myself but others in the process.
I feel like
Demar will finally get the praise that he deserved, and many people will see he was an elite star. He still hasn't won a championship yet, but he's still working to that as his ultimate goal. He has overcame a lot from death and life tragedies. Demar overcame a lot and never gave up, but even went harder on every obstacle he wanted in his life and everything in his way. This will conclude this episode.
Another banger.
If you haven't already, make sure you
bro.
check out my previous episode.
Another banger video, nigga. Shout out to Warren Cali, bro. This the end of the video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We on the road to 2,000 subs. But yeah, this is a prime example. Demar Derozan is a prime example that you could make it, bro. If you from the city of Los Angeles, because Compton is a it's a sub city in Los Angeles, my nigga. Come on, they gonna call it Compton, but it's Los Angeles, fool. It's the same shit. Anyway, he's a prime example that you can make it, bro. No cap. Shit, just believe, keep grinding, nigga. Be consistent. No cap. Pray to God. You gonna make it. Shit, that's the end of this video. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. We gone. No kissing.